Alright, imagine a scenario where the old Victor mains are finally happy after years of removing their legacy. The Kate Vi fandom has not had drama in a while. The Mel fandom is getting a new merch drop. The Javik fandom is also getting some treats. So what do? You run Mel over with a car. Because that's a way to promote a product. But let's rewind a little bit, because this entire story has quite a setup and quite a payoff. You see, while to a lot of gaming companies, selling merch is not the most profitable thing, you would be surprised just how many games sell merch with a loss. And that is because that entire thing is technically marketing. But sometimes you can lean into your own fandom and rake in some money. One such example for Riot has been Arcane. The merch surrounding Arcane in general has been wild. And that is because after the success of Arcane 1, every company wanted to jump in for a collab. There have been many figures and replicas and many items that may or may not even have a practical use. How do I know this? Well, I own some of these. But if there is one thing that really seems to be profitable in these cases, it is mass-produced collectibles. Which means we are not talking about all the hand-painted statues, which oftentimes are cheaper than their digital counterparts. No, we are talking about generic figures, kinda like Funko Pops, which I hate to death. And of course, the most known counterpart to that would be Youtooz. Now, first things first, I have to say that Youtooz actually do have high quality products. Their plushies are really good. And I know this because we did work with them in the past, and I do not regret it. And even the main figure line is decent. Now here, I have to get something off my chest. When it comes to the Youtooz figures, I kinda don't like the eyes. I get that that is their general brand, but for a lot of the characters, the eyes just don't fit them. That's why I don't own any of those. Though I do own one. If you don't know what that is, good. Now, it just so happens to be that over the many years, Arcane has been cursed, with all of its collectible figures being kinda questionable. Because this is not the first time we got some. Before this, there was the entire PopMart deal, where PopMart did what they do when they released a gacha of Arcane figures. And here, some of them look fine, and a lot of others don't. There were also all the ponies, those were fine. But before that, around the time of the first Arcane, we got the whole series of figures. Those are still forsaken. And yes, there are also Funko Pops. So as you can see, the bar for collectible figures around Arcane has not been that high, which is why a lot of the collectors started getting desperate. Which is when Youtooz came in and they actually tried to save the day. When Arcane 2 launched, Youtooz came up with a line that actually blew up. First of all, they had a bunch of plushies. From these, everyone focused on Heimerdinger. Though remember, Riot also had their official one. But most importantly, there were also the figures. There were 4 normal ones for Victor, Mel, Jinx and Vi. Again, these are your standard Youtooz, love them or hate them. Then there were the Task Force figures, those were pretty good. And then there was the combo, which was the most popular one. And that is because this was the one for Echo and Powder. It doesn't take a genius to know that these would be popular, since even their entire episode has the highest rating of them all. And so now, almost a year later, it seems like Youtooz decided to ride the Arcane fandom for a little bit longer, and over the last few months they decided to give the fandom something more to buy. And so first we got some pins, where the stopwatch and the pendant are direct references to the show, with the vinyl of the Jinx and Vi being in the intro. Then we also got some plushies here, some are pretty good, others are Victor. But again, most importantly, Youtooz is known for their figures. And since last time the most popular one was the one focusing on a ship, this time they've done their research. They know what to expect, they know whom to target, and so they went all in into the one space on the internet that nobody wants to go. And I'm not talking about Time Bomb, they got their own figure already. I'm talking about every fandom that is mercilessly fighting for their duo. That's right, Youtooz actually covered every big fandom to get as much coverage as possible. And so back in March, the Kate Vi duo was revealed. This is of course a reference to the final scene of the entire show. Then some time passed and we got a figure for Jace and Mel. This one depicts the very iconic scene from Arcane. There are totally no other scenes that will be more iconic, but finally, that led us into one final figure. And that one would be targeting an audience that has not yet gotten a single piece of official merch. Or at least not a collectible figure. And that would be one for the Javik audience. Now this is an actually iconic scene. It is also a very powerful one too. So it is funny to see just how detailed their butts are here. And so after we finally got a piece of merch targeting the Javik fandom, how did that fandom feel? The bi-colors was a choice. Not gonna lie, I get that they have a style, but those eyes are so out of place for the specific scene depicted, lol. The stupid ass eyes ruin it. I forgot how ugly Youtooz actually are. I'm sorry this is hideous, but I'm glad that Javik is finally getting official merch, so overall a win. As you can see, there was an outcry about the colors as well as the eyes, but hey, it's Youtooz, I guess. What didn't help is that they also showed a picture of the actual figure, which doesn't look that great. And so people went on an editing spree to show that it can be good. And interestingly enough, apparently Youtooz delayed the release of the figure, so it seems like they are listening to the feedback. But they haven't said anything publicly just yet. And that might be for a totally different reason. Because you see, after you decided to serve the entire Arcane fandom, which is gigantic, and after you are seemingly listening to the audience's feedback too, it would be a good idea to also promote the product on your social media to really spread the word. And so what did Youtooz do on one fateful night? They animated a meme with Victor running over Mel. There are so many bad things, I don't even know where to start. So if you take all of this out of context, we really do just have Victor murdering Mel. On its own, this can be twisted into so many bad scenarios. And worst of all, I don't understand what the joke is supposed to be. Now I did a lot of research here, and apparently this is a meme format, but the meme is so incredibly niche there is no way people would get it. Because this is a meme from Deltarune, where Asgore is running over a deer in a car. This on its own has no joke behind it. This literally spawned out of nowhere. And that's because the original meme plays into the idea that you have cute characters from Deltarune doing horrible things. In fact, all of this is recreating a scene from Open Season, where a hunter is running over a deer. How is that related to Victor and Mel exactly? This is the part I don't get. Sure, I get that this is a meme, but as a company, you should be probably using memes that are related to your products, because when that is done well, then it can go viral. I don't think this is what you wanna do. What's even worse, you have Victor running over Mel, #Javik. So is the entire idea that Victor is murdering Mel to have Jace for himself? I'm not sure Riot would appreciate that. And nor does the community, because all you have to do to see the outcome of this is read some of the posts. I found out about Youtooz video too late. By then, I had already bought Javik's figure. Not only that one, I also bought the Kate Vi and Time Bomb figures at the same time. I don't know what it does, the truth, I liked all three, even though I was surprised that he said it was quite expensive. The video is disgusting and out of place in all aspects. But at the same time, I don't want to ask for a refund of the figures that I just asked for when they came out. I feel that I should ask for a refund, but I don't want at the same time. Those figures make me very excited to have them, but at the same time, with this controversy, I feel like the obligation to cancel my order since it was quite serious. You can physically see the meltdown that is happening here. But yes, long story short, people are refunding those figures like crazy. With a lot of the collectors being just done with Youtooz in general. Because apparently this entire time the Arcane fandom also had something they call the fandom wars, where the Javik fandom mercilessly fought the Mel-J fandom, and apparently at times there was also racism involved. And all of these controversies are happening to this day. Meaning that all the members of these communities who also own one of these figures might have it as a token that will forever bring up their veteran war memories. And I thought Heimerdinger disintegrating was traumatic.